my beautiful Bhava babes. We're back. Welcome to another broadcast, Bhava Sunday broadcast. My name is Ingrid H. Turner. If you don't know me, I'm the founder of the Bhava Spiritual Mission. The mission is here to help you live in partnership with spirits. We do this by going live every Sunday, except the Sundays where I suck and don't get the time change right. We also have our Bhava Spiritual Mission organization in our school, which is currently in the process of a revamp, but the school helps bring you into your spiritual gifts and helps you take those gifts out into the world. It's a very fucking cool program. So here we are again. Hey, good morning, Ashley. Nice to see you, darling. Love to see your beautiful face on here. So thank you again for my beautiful regulars for your patience with me last week. It was interesting because I was ready to go. I had it. I was like looking for a place to do the broadcast. I was in a bit of a limbo space. But what was interesting to me is as I was kind of getting ready to do the broadcast and looking for a place, because I was out on the road. So I was like, I wasn't in a space. I'm in an Airbnb now. So I wasn't in an Airbnb. I was like in my car, and the campsite where I was at didn't have good signal. So I was kind of looking around, and I was confident because I figured I had plenty of time. But at the same time, as I was looking for a space to do the broadcast, I just felt this resistance in my body, this like, don't want to do it. And I'm like, why? I love doing the broadcast. Didn't feel anything like that this week. And then I get a message from beautiful Sarah, and she goes, well, I'm just waiting for the broadcast to start. 10 minutes later, I'm like, what time is it? So in California, where I was then in Arizona, and the time change happened, and Arizona has its shit together and doesn't do daylight savings nonsense. But I just didn't know because I wasn't paying attention because I was busy doing other things. And so I missed it. And so there you have it. But it was interesting to me, that resistance I felt in my body. I was like, oh, there it is. Okay, that's why. It wasn't meant to happen that day. And that was okay. I allowed the resistance to dictate what was appropriate for me to do that day. I trusted the block. I trusted the time change faux pas on my own ridiculousness. And I let it go last week. And it really felt like the right thing to do for whatever reason. I wasn't perhaps in a great place energetically to be tuning into spirit and sharing with you. But here I am back feeling really good, excited to talk about the message that's coming through based on some experiences I've had this week. It's been really good. Good morning, Ursula. Good morning, Kira. Good afternoon, Ken. Yes, actually it's afternoon here too because I'm in Mountain Standard Time. I'm in El Paso, Texas. It's 12:03, 11:03 Pacific. So thank you again for your patience and for joining. Good morning, Beth. No one is perfect. Brilliant, yes, but not perfect. Damn straight. I am happy that you are here today too. And yeah, like you say, an unknown reason why. Spirit has said to me for a long time now, and I pass this nugget on to almost everybody who I've worked with, trust the blocks. Trust the blocks. The blocks are either redirecting or they're slowing your ass down, and you may or may not know why. And our job is to develop our faith and bolster our faith and trust in this benevolent universe and everything that is always working in our favor, and trust the blocks. Trust the blocks, trust the slowdowns, trust what is appropriate. So here we are today. Okay, again, if you're new here, welcome. Give a shout out, leave a comment, let us know so we can all pile on top of you and tell you, hi, hello, welcome, we love you. And if you're an old hat, if you're a regular, welcome back. Thank you so much for showing up every damn week to create this container I see it as like a net of us coming together. I see a net, us joining together as a net on these Bhava Sunday broadcasts, whether you're joining live or even if you're coming in after the fact and watching the replay. Spirit does not care a thing about time or space. It doesn't exist in the same way that we humans experience it, which is in this sort of linear 1, 2, 3, ABC kind of frame. It doesn't exist that way. So thank you so much. Good morning, beautiful Stella. Good morning, Sarah. Sarah didn't have to poke me today and go, hi, hello? Like, are you there? Knock, knock. So anyway, thank you again. I really so appreciate you so much. So if you're new, here's our format today. I'm going to ground us in. And this is really important because we are all opening up to divine spirit. This is an activation container. You activate me, I activate you. We're all popping open a little that much more to divine spirit. And we are grounding in so that we can match ourselves up with the earth energies so that we can open up that much more to divine spirit. And it means what we bring through, the messages, the energy, the divine healing, the prayers, what we bring through from spirit, we can anchor it more solidly in the physical and put it to practical, applicable use in our day-to-day lives. And if we're not doing that, there's no point. All right, we're here for the human experience, and this is of service to that human experience. Good morning, Angelina. Nice to see you on here, recovering from St. Patty's Day. Oh, still? I guess in Ireland, right, it would be just an insane thing. I can imagine. That would be an experience to have, to go to Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. Who's on? So Planet 2023? See you soon, Angelina. Anyway. So grounding in, and then I'm going to open us up with a prayer. And at that time, I'm going to open up 4 prayers. We're going to do prayer healing. Good morning, Hector. Nice to see you on here. Prayer healing is when you share your prayer, you type it out, say it out loud if you're able to, and we affirm those prayers. Pray for yourself, pray for your loved ones, pray for the collective, pray for your not so loved ones. Prayer is so powerful and so potent, so fucking potent in this paradigm, in this new earth energy. So say your prayers, babes. After that, we're going to go in and we're going to channel the message. Today's topic talks about conditional giving. And the word that came to me, which is really strong, but was the violence of expectations. Now, violence, I feel like that was kind of an attention grabber, the reason like Spirit gave that to me. But it's based on some inner experiences that I've had this week as I've been moving along, crawling across the land in my little Scion micro camper, spending lots of time by myself and really diving deep into some core shit in a real profound way. And this is something that Spirit wanted to talk about more today. And I will be sharing some of my experience and then channeling more from Spirit, which will be beneficial for me and for you. And after that, I will do some readings. Okay, so 5 readings on the live stream. You have to be on the live stream at the time that I do the readings, and I will go to the 5 people that I am drawn to. Now, if you don't get a direct reading from me, fear not. Spirit is efficient. I say this every week. I'm going to keep on saying it. You will get your questions answered on this broadcast. If you are coming with needing something from Spirit, guidance, direction, answers, inspiration, you will receive it, whether I am directed at you or not. I'm just going with where my energy is feeling drawn. And whatever you hear, if it resonates in your body, if it reverberates through your body, that message is for you. And I want you to own it and take it and apply it to your life. Good morning, Donna. Nice to see you on here. Okay, let's get started, my loves. We're going to ground in together. So I want you to close your eyes with me and let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel your energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe it'll feel warm or tingly. You'll just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra. and exhale into your root chakra. Thank you, Divine Spirit. Thank you for opening us up to the divine healing energy, the divine messages, the guidance that is forthcoming. Thank you for helping us move completely and presently into the fullness of our human experience and follow the flow of our natural life, the happiness, the joy, the fulfillment. Thank you for helping us remove anything from our psyche that is not of the highest good, that is not of ultimate service to ourselves, to our fellow human. Thank you for our presence here today, our gathering here today. Thank you for this space. Thank you for this global collective of divine healers, seekers, channelers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, at this time, I want to invite you to add your prayer. What do you want to pray for? Who do you want to pray for? Yourself, the collective, another friend, foe. Praying for people who you're mad at is an incredibly healing. Praying for situations that you're unhappy about is incredibly healing. Because the thing about our prayer, when you pray, you drop it from your head into your heart and you move it out from your being. It's really an intention. A prayer is an intention from the heart. And when it is always going to be answered, and it is going to be answered to the highest good of all. Everybody wins with an answered prayer. So even if you can't see how everybody could win, or you can't see how that could be the case, if you say your prayer, the universe will rearrange itself in order to support everybody involved with you, with this situation. Prayer is incredibly valuable. Good morning, Kevin. Praying for healing and pain relief for myself. We affirm this prayer for you, Ken. We affirm this prayer that your healing and your pain, you are relieved and you are moving through this difficult time and stepping fully into your light, into bright, into feeling good mentally, physically, and emotionally, feeling whole, complete, and I'm getting an image of like a straight up and down, if that makes sense to you. Donna, praying for collective healings. Let's affirm this prayer, collective healing. Let's send out our divine healing, our divine prayers out to the entire world and see it wrap itself around this globe, healing the collective, giving the collective, every individual in the collective, what they need to step into their highest expression and the energy that connects all of us to strengthen it, to bind us together in a way that is healing, unifying, peace, and love. Beautiful, Donna. Thank you. Praying to release, Stella says, praying to release and let go of that which no longer serves and embrace new beginnings. Let's affirm this prayer for Stella. The pray for release, the act. Letting go is not an action, is the opposite of an action. So helping her step into the becoming of release, of surrender, anything that is not serving, to release all attachments and to embrace new beginnings with zest and excitement and courage. Beautiful, Stella. Thank you. Beautiful, Ashley, praying for us seeking to do so, to step into our highest selves. Let's affirm this prayer for Ashley, stepping into your highest self, all of us stepping into our highest expression, our most exalted expression in this moment. And remember, it is always expanding. You are the universe. You are a universe inside a universe. You are always expanding. As soon as you touch the edges, it expands. So we are always expanding into our highest expression. Spirit shows me it's not hierarchy up and down or forward and backwards. It's all encompassing. That's why I use the word expansion a lot. You're expanding all the way around. That's beautiful, Ashley. Thank you so much. Good morning, Michelle. Coworker April has sent a complete letter to my boss and manager. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is beautiful, Michelle. Let's pray for April. Let's affirm this prayer and let's move this energy out to April. Let's surround her in divine healing energy and pray to Divine Spirit, help April move into her highest expression so that she can become happy and whole and fulfilled and calm and at peace in her own life. And we're going to add in there prayer for Michelle too, because Michelle is feeling the blowback. We surround you in divine protection, Michelle. May every step that you take be one full of confidence and trust and honesty and love. Thank you. Thank you for that, Michelle. And then Charlotte, chakra blockage, praying to release the throat chakra blockage. Oh, amen. Girl, I am with you. Let's affirm this prayer for Charlotte, releasing the throat chakra blockage. Move out any stuck energy from the throat chakra so that Charlotte can speak and express herself fully, completely, and authentically with zest and love and gratitude for all of her days. Yum. I love this. Thank you all so much. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's go into the topic. What did I say the topic was? So it's about conditional giving and the violence of expectation. So this came up earlier this week for me, and it hasn't let go. So I know I'm supposed to be talking about it and channeling it. So here's a thought stream that I had that got me to where I am with this. I recognized that I don't expect a whole lot from people anymore. I just don't expect people to necessarily show up the way I would, or that kind of a thing. And when I thought about this, it didn't come with a feeling of like being jaded or cynical or like whatever, people are useless. Like it just didn't come with that. And so recognizing that I had this sort of flat, unemotional experience of not expecting a whole lot from people got me thinking, why is that? And I realized that over the years, as I've been doing my inner work, that used to be that I would expect a lot from people. And I would get very upset when people didn't meet my expectations. And as I was contemplating this, I recognized that when I do have expectations of people, period, that is my indication that I am overgiving. I am giving outside of my capacity to give unconditionally. And so my giving has become conditional. And that is what makes me have expectations. That's what breeds expectation. If I'm giving from a place that is unconditional, it is because it fuels me to give, because I want to give, because I'm in service, because it feels amazing. I have no expectations attached to that kind of giving. As soon as I go over the line and I'm giving more than I really have the capacity for, more than just what is overflowing from me, that sprouts expectations. And then those expectations cannot be met. They can't be met by the other party. Now, that's not to say that this isn't excusing people, situations and people where they're screwing you over, or that's malicious, that's malintent. But you can't really account for other people's intentions or abilities or their capacity. You can't account for that. All you can account for is your own giving and loving from a place of fullness and fulfillment. And I think this was interesting too, as I was feeling into this. Most of us, if not all of us, are conditioned to overgive. We see our own capacity as not enough. We see our own capacity as selfish. Well, I have to give more than that. I have to do more. What can I do? I got to do more. I got to do more. And we don't recognize in ourselves that when we reach our capacity, when we give in within the container, within the flow of our own capacity, we don't see how far that goes, what an impact that has. And when you are giving from that place of unconditional love, when you're in that unconditional space, that's what cultivates abundance and the receptivity of receiving unconditionally. When you move outside of that unconditional capacity into conditioned giving, you put conditions on what you can receive. And that's where the expectations come up. It's this weird mental kind of fuckery that happens when we overgive. And so when I have an expectation from somebody or a situation that is not met, I I cannot account for the other party. I cannot account for anything outside of me and my energy, my sphere, my being. So it is my job to go back over that interaction and identify, where did my giving become conditional? Where did I start to overgive because of this? But I have this narrative in my head that I'm selfish. Somewhere along the way, I learned that I'm selfish. And so I have to compensate for that innate selfishness by giving more than I'm comfortable with. Not really comfortable, it's not it. In the moment, I'm usually pretty comfortable, but there's an unconscious expectation being developed. Okay, I'm giving more than I have in my reserves, so that has to get filled up from somewhere. And because my reserves are being drained on you, you have to give that back to me. You have to fill up my reserve tank. But people don't fill your reserve tank. You fill your reserve tank. God fills your reserve tank. Love fills your reserve tank. Self-love fills your reserve tank. But there it is. That's what we're doing. So this narrative that I have running, that I'm selfish and I have what my capacity is innately selfish. It's not enough. And so usually in the moment when I'm over giving and it has crossed the line from unconditional to conditional, I don't notice. I usually don't notice in the moment. And it takes reflecting and kind of allowing yourself to go over, where did that shift? Because there is a shift. There's an energetic shift, and it might be subtle because it might happen really quickly, but it's there. And if you continue to practice and pay attention, then you're going to start to recognize that shift. And then you have to have big courage to say, I don't have capacity for that. Let's find it elsewhere. Right? Just because you don't have capacity for it doesn't mean that somebody who needs something and you're not able to give it to them doesn't mean they can't find it somewhere else. They can find it with somebody who has the capacity for that. Right? Ursula says, took me years to learn to just give without expectations. And if they hurt me, that's their shit, not mine. Well, I think that's true. But again, I want to say, like, give within your capacity to joyfully give unconditionally. You know what I mean? Just joyfully give unconditionally. And there's, like, the way I see it is like there's a finite amount of that before you have to take a step back and really focus on you and fill your own cup. Focus on your love. Focus on your spirit, on your spirituality. So that was my experience, and that was my thoughts. Let me tune in and see if there's anything else that's going to come through about this. Spirit is asking me to go over again the thank you. When again, going more deeply into that conditioning that we have, where what we're comfortable giving is not enough. What we're giving is not enough. What we're giving is not enough. We have to give more than we really want to give in order to not be selfish, to be a good person. And this is very much wrapped up in our cultural shaming that happens. You know, it comes from our family, it comes from our media, it comes from, you know, our religions. It comes from all over the place. Like, you are not good unless you are martyring yourself, sacrificing yourself, giving more than you have the capacity to give. So Spirit is saying that what happens when, I got my third eye tingling here, yummy. What happens when we give outside of our capacity? Do you all know what I mean by that? I want to check in and make sure that you guys are clear on that. Like, there's a capacity where we give unconditionally. And that'll be different for different people in different circumstances and where we are at in our life, where we are at in our own self-care and our own ability to, like, fill our own cups, right? So giving outside, giving within that capacity of unconditional love, unconditional giving, what that does is that refuels us. So the giving itself is the fuel, and it fills you up and it fills you up and it increases your capacity and it increases your capacity. And so I've got a wheel, like, in my mind, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's got a storm getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It expands that, and it becomes this like this vortex, almost this black hole that attracts. Black hole's a weird term, but that's what I'm getting, is like this giant magnet that just attracts unconditional and unlimited abundance in every sense to you when you are giving from a place of joy, because you're giving from within your capacity. But when you're giving outside of your capacity, when you're showing up outside of your capacity, even giving your thoughts outside of your capacity, it cuts that off. And it doesn't cut it off, it's like clamps it, like a hose. It kinks the hose. So there's only a dribble that's coming out. And then that diminishes your capacity for unconditional giving, because you have to find a way to fill your own cup. All right, that's what Spirit wanted to go over again. Abundance, Spirit is asking me to focus in on the word abundance. We often think of abundance as like getting our physical needs met, which is often about money, right? Often we're thinking, okay, it's about money, 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 money. Abundance is money. I need money. Money is everything. Money gets me everything I need. No, money is a tool to get you a lot of things that you need in the way we have it set up now. But again, remember how I was saying earlier, our prayers are answered to the highest good of all. Abundance comes to you to the highest good of all, everything. It may not come in the form of money, but abundance also includes not just money. It will be money. It will be money. It will be resources. It will be safety. It will be security. It will also be love, emotional maturity, spiritual exaltation, mental clarity. Abundance is a full word. It's a whole ecosystem is what I'm getting. And when you're joyfully giving within your capacity, that increases the flow of abundance to you exponentially. And the more you stay in that gratitude and that flow and that abundance and give from that yummy place, then it just keeps expanding, and you can give more and more and more. But the minute you go over the line and you give and you outside of your capacity, or you try and do outside of your capacity for other people, outside of the capacity of unconditional giving, and it becomes conditioned, then it gets sticky. Then expectations show up, then bitterness and resentment, and then you're going to have to start again. You're going to have to pull way, 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 way back and give just a little bit from that unconditioned place and allow it to build up again. But it does. It builds upon itself. It builds upon itself. It builds upon itself. That's beautiful. Ken says, it's like give, give, give. Then when you get exhausted and not filled up, that's when you realize you've crossed the line. Well, I'm hoping that you'll realize that you crossed the line way before that, because by the time you get to exhaustion and giving up, you're way over the line. The line is crossed, and it's subtle, because we are so conditioned that if we only give to that point, we're not giving enough. It's so subtle. So by the time you get to that point, Ken, when you're giving up and you're bitter, you're exhausted, your expectations are not being met, you even have expectations that you become aware of, that's the time to stop, pull your energy way back in, and start again. And go over the experience. Be like, where did I cross the line? See if you can identify it. And if you can't identify it right away, that's okay. What we do is we practice. It's a practice. It's a practice. It's a practice. And none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect at it. Kim says, I guard myself. Well, beautiful, Kim, that's okay. Take it back. Maybe let down the guards, but just give a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like a little bit, and let that capacity develop. Let it develop over time, gently, lovingly. I could be guarded could be my boundaries. Yeah, but guarded might be also guarding yourself from, I'm not giving anything because I'm afraid of being depleted. Check in with that yourself, check in with that and see if that's I'm not giving anything because you're going to deplete me, or if it's this is all I can give. This is all I can give. And again, this is a practice. And I think this might be especially true for women. Maybe not. I don't know. Ken had a really good comment. I think it's all of us, really. Just people are just, oh my God, if you're going to be good, you have to be totally selfless. And selfishness, let's talk about selfishness for a minute. What is this? Selfishness, our definition of selfishness, our understanding of being selfish is like it's a really negative thing. And I think that it can be a really negative thing. It can be a really icky energy to be so selfish and self-centered that you just don't take anybody into consideration. You don't care about people. You don't care about the planet. You leave garbage all over the place. You steal things. You lie. You just like, all of it is about me, 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 me. But then there's selfish, which is, maybe there's a better word we can use for this. Selfish, which is like, I love, but I have to care for myself. I have to love myself. I have to take care of myself. I have to manage my energy. I have to manage myself so that I can be of service. right? That's what it's all about for me, is how can I be of divine service? And I'm not of divine service when I'm over here trying to overthinking about expectations that haven't been met and being bitter and annoyed and overgiving and distracting myself and sabotaging myself by hyper focusing on what's going on over here, there, anywhere outside of me. So there you go. Michelle, it is said to give more of what you want. So you're saying to do that, but be mindful not to go over the line of our capacity. Give more of what you want. Let me feel into this a little bit, Michelle. That's a really interesting question. Yeah, I mean, I agree with not be mindful. Don't be mindful to go over the line of our capacity. Give more of what you want. So feeling into this, Michelle, and feel into this with me. See how this feels to you. I feel like giving what I want to get what I want is conditioned. It's conditional. I give what I want to get what I want. It's conditional. Give what you have to people who want it and need it. Give it joyfully. Give it so that it's fun. It's a pleasure to give, whether that's advice or giving away things that you don't use anymore, or money, charities, donate, whatever it is. More of give what you have that is joyful and feels good, and that will attract to you what you want. And yes, you have to stay within your capacity. And understanding what your capacity is going to take some practice, folks. I'm just reiterating that. It's going to take some practice, and that's okay. Ooh, Angelina, yes, abundance equals opportunities. Absolutely, that is a part of abundance. Abundance is everything that is serving us, everything that makes us feel good, makes us comfortable, makes us safe, makes us happy, makes us fulfilled, all of those things. So yeah, abundance is, when we think of abundance as money, we are seriously limiting our capacity for abundance. All right, beautiful Lena. Good stuff. What is coming up for me is that when we overgive, the recipient can unconsciously start to take advantage of this and not show up in a balanced way. It may not always be malicious. An imbalance of energy is connections. Simply pulling back and honoring our limits, the moment when we reach capacity, can switch up the energy. It's like the other person can feel where they aren't showing up for others and hopefully correct themselves. Wow, yeah, I think this is really insightful, Lena. Kind of taking it out of our own shell here and the other side. I mean, I feel like you're absolutely right. It throws off the equilibrium for the dynamic completely when one is overgiving. If one is over, so here's the center line, okay? Giving within capacity, hit the line. Giving within capacity, hit the line. Receiving within capacity, giving back within capacity, and then giving within capacity. Whoop, over capacity. The other party has to compensate by the over capacity by giving back under capacity. That's the way that it just showed up for me. So that's really good. Thank you. Yeah, I think this certainly is true for all of us, being an overgiver and an overtaker, balance in everything. And it's all about our own capacity. So true. It's just all about our own capacity and learning. We even have a threshold for receiving. You ever receive so much from somebody who's just like piling stuff on you? I remember when my son was little, he must have been 3 or 4. I had a coworker who had 2 boys, said, "We have clothes that our boys have outgrown. Would you like us to bring them by for your son?" And I said, yeah, that'd be great. So their boys were a few years older, like 11, 12 kind of years older. And they brought over like a truckload of clothes that my son wouldn't fit into for years and dump them I'm not kidding. They had a pickup truck full of clothes and shoes and all kinds of stuff from their 2 boys and just dumped them at my home. And I was like, way over capacity. But anyway, that's what I thought about when it's like that balance that we can over receive as well as over give. We have a capacity for both of these things. Ursula, selfish sometimes is self-love. Well, self-love, I think, is seen as selfish, but is it it's like, again, we're kind of going semantics here and just digging into something that's not necessarily, I don't know, maybe the wording isn't that important. But yeah, absolutely, it can be seen as selfish. And so we have a hard time taking action in alignment with loving ourselves because we don't want to be seen as selfish. We don't want to be seen as selfish. I have this, and I think so many of us have that narrative running. That's like, I'm selfish. If I'm not giving enough, I'm selfish. I'm selfish. Self-care-ish or self-care. Nice, good, Ken. This is really true, Kira. If there's something you long for, act as though you suddenly have it, and then perspective shifts. It's true. You become what you be. Anyway, you know what I mean. You said it well. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Ashley, I feel this. I was listening in the shower. Awesome. I feel like I've been in hermit mode, testing out my new capacity and limits. When I overgive, I lose the joy and can get resentful. So I'm learning that self-care isn't selfish. It's crucial. It is crucial. It's crucial for understanding our capacity and for expanding our capacity. Not that we should be taking care of ourselves in order to do more for others. Like, that's something I want to be really conscious of, is this isn't about giving to get, or, this isn't about making it about other people. That's conditioning. It's about other people when it's joyfully about other people, when you're really enjoying your connections, when you're enjoying the giving, when you're enjoying the receiving, the reciprocal, the going back and forth. That's what life is about, is the enjoyment of it. And it's not about getting anything. It's about opening and living within our capacity of love and joy. And sometimes at some points in our life, it's like this big, okay? It's like this big. If you've been going through a really hard time, you have a fuck ton of trauma that you're dealing with, when you've got it going on. It's okay if your capacity is tiny. Honor your tiny little capacity, and that is going to bring in healing, and healing is part of abundance as well. That's going to bring in the healing that you need. You're going to give joyfully from that capacity, and it will expand, 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 and things will get better. Beth says, I'm going to have to listen to this again and take it in more deeply. As you were talking, I realized that my job constantly demands that I overgive, and I am often left feeling as though nothing I do is good enough. I need to think about how to take some of the power back so I can give without being constantly drained. Ooh, so this is a really good example of where it gets really tough, Beth, because our job is our livelihood. We are dependent on our job for survival. And so when our job is sucking from us and demanding that we overgive, and we keep giving outside of our capacity, and we feel like we have to, or we're not going to get the paycheck, we're going to lose the job, we're not going to be able to survive, very quickly we're spiraling. And that spiral, that fear, what does that do to our capacity to give? It shrinks it that much further. So Beth, what I would say to you is, instead of trying to figure out from the head what you're going to do to fix the situation, bring it into the body, bring it into the heart, see where you feel it in your body. And again, we talked about how powerful prayer is in this new paradigm. So pray for it. Pray for the good of all. Pray for yourself. Pray for your capacity. Let yourself feel, and pray for what you need, which is freedom, work-life balance, giving joyfully, having a work situation where you are having fun and giving and producing and challenged without feeling depleted and drained and absolutely laid out at the end of the day. Thank you for that, Beth. That's a really good example that you're bringing up that a lot of people are coping with. Ken says, cool idea to reflect on. When you are beyond your capacity, going to take practice so you learn and realize it sooner. That's exactly right. That when you hit that wall and you're like, oh, there it is. I am bitter, disappointed. I had expectations. I wanted this, that, and the other. Even if somebody said to you they were going to do something for you, unless you are giving outside of your capacity, you are not going to be taken down by somebody going back on their word. If somebody goes back on their words, like Ursula said earlier, it's their shit. Okay, fine, they didn't do it, But if you have been over giving and you're outside of your capacity, somebody going back on their words is going to really bother you. It's going to make you really upset. When you're getting really upset by other people not living up to your expectations, you've been over giving for a long time, because those expectations have had time to fester and grow and flower and bloom, and they don't smell good. Okay, they're not pretty smelling flowers. So that's just your opportunity to go back and say, okay, where in this arrangement, in this dynamic, did I overgive? Was it the moment I said yes to something I didn't really want to do? Or did the envelope keep getting pushed? Where did I need to start saying no? And like you say, Ken, you practice, you learn yourself, you learn your capacity. You start at the beginning, you start over and over again, and then you get it. And then you get to the point where you're like, I don't really care. Because you're not so often giving outside of your capacity. Hector, or lying, the reason for asking. I'm not 100% sure what you're asking here. I think it's like if somebody lies to you. Yeah, when somebody lies to you, you have an expectation, right? I don't know. I mean, I think that really depends on the situation. If you could clarify that comment, it'd be easier for me to answer that. Thanks for your comment, Hector. Okay, tell me how that feels. Well, you have been telling me how that feels. That's just what I say every time I spout off and bring through spirit. I always want to know, how does that feel to you? How's that landing for you? Is it going into your body? Are you feeling it? Are you resonating with it? Whatever you're resonating with today, take it out into your life, apply it to your life, bring it into your experience, and raise your frequency with divine spirit and divine practices that we are learning here every week, the ones that resonate with you. And if you hear something from me or practice from me and it doesn't resonate for you, leave it. Put it aside, put it on the shelf. You might take it down later. You might not. It's okay. There are 8 billion people on this planet. I am one energy bringing through spirit. And if I'm resonating for you and spirit's resonating coming through me, that makes me really happy. If anytime it doesn't, I don't take it personally. You got to do what is absolutely in alignment for you. My goal is for you to trust yourself, not to trust me, but to trust you. Trust God, trust spirit, trust your connection to the divine above any and all else. Okay, let's switch gears. Let's do some readings. So if you would like a reading, leave a comment on the live stream. I will go to who I'm drawn to. If you'd like to ask a specific question, go right ahead. I'd be happy to tune into that for you. If you'd like a general message, I'm happy to do that as well. I've got my spirit guide here. His name is Mons. If you've been following me around for any time, you know who he is, M-O-N-Z. I think of him as my user-friendly interface with the divine. It's just how spirit is able to connect with me, how I'm able to receive information most clearly by having a conversation with somebody. So, you see. Okay, we got some coming in. All right. Ken, I feel really pulled. I do feel pulled. Okay, beautiful. Let's see what we got. Hello, Ken. Okay, Ken. Oh, that was a cool sensation that just went through my body. I'm feeling the sacral and the throat, and I'm feeling the root chakra. Boy, things are expanding for you on the creative front. You're about to make a breakthrough, and your creativity is about communicating as well. More communication needs to come through your creative endeavors. So more writing, more speaking, more sharing. It's going to be bumpy at first, but that's part of the magic of the creation process. Is you experiment, you play. It's bumpy, you try it on for size. It's too small, it's too big. You chuck it out, you grow into it. That's what spirit is giving me for you. You are about to make a big, I can feel it so much in my sacral. You're about to make a big breakthrough in your creative endeavors. Creativity is so important for you. And I'm also getting this energy of like, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. Like the word's mine. Spirit doesn't really swear in my experience, but I sure do. And spirit, and it's just like, well, it doesn't matter. People don't matter. The people don't matter. Spirit is saying the people don't matter. The people don't matter. The people don't matter. They 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 don't matter. And it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. They don't matter, Ken. They don't matter. What matters is you, your space, your creativity. And the more you trust that creative energy, the more solid and secure I feel for you in your root. The more solid and secure you will feel. Oh, and just as I tried to talk my throat, there it is, block throat chakra. You got some throat chakra work to do. The only way to unblock your throat chakra is to practice speaking your truth. It's to practice speaking up, saying things, writing things, your truth, even if it makes you uncomfortable, even if it makes other people uncomfortable, your truth, okay? And I feel some deflated energy coming out there. So that's something for you to work on, okay? You need to work on that. Big breakthrough coming through though. Beautiful kid. Oh, Beth. I would love any guidance you can give if you're Johnny. Okay. Oh, I feel such energy in the heart. Oh, and then down in the power center. I feel a big heart and lots of grief. Lots of grief in your lifetime, beautiful Beth. Just a lot of sadness in there, but it's not a sadness that is like debilitating to you. I feel like it's just something that you carry and you've gotten used to, and it just is what it is. But I'm also feeling it deep, like dropping down into my power center. Power center is about ego and identity. So spirit is saying, explore, take some time to explore the grief and the sadness inside of you, and see if you can spot where your ego has come in and tried to make an identity out of the grief, out of the sadness, out of the sad feelings, out of this sort of little bit of a depressive energy, I feel like. And don't beat yourself up, because that's what the ego does. It creates structure and identities for us. And it's not uncommon when we've been through a lot in our life for the ego to come in and sort of take some of that and they create some structure around it, some identity around it. But because I'm picking up on it, you're ready to let it go. You're ready to let it go. So I don't feel like it's all of you. I don't feel like you walk around with this like, woe is me, like self-pity identity going on at all. I feel like this is more of an internal thing. It's something you don't necessarily share with people, but it's a story that you have that you're not terribly conscious of. And so just going in and doing a little bit of digging, seeing if you can spot it, and just awareness and moving through it is going to be enough for you. But when you do that, you're going to find that there's a lot more lightness in your body. I also feel a block in the throat chakra, especially on the right side, on the left side, my left side. And that is about, that's about receiving, being able to receive. The left side is receiving, the throat is about receiving communication. It's about expressing your femininity, expressing what is light and bright inside you. Okay, so play around with that and see where you get to. Okay, Muriel, yes, we'll take a reading with gratitude. Thank you so much, darling. What have we got for you, gorgeous? Okay, hang on. Muriel, do me a favor, my darling. I'm having a little bit of a hard time connecting. So if you could just take a breath with me, open up your aura, very consciously give me permission to move into you and read you and give you the message from spirit. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I got my spirit guide. Mom's showing up really strong for you. I keep getting this image of a noose around your neck, noose around your neck, noose around your neck. But there's also this, oh gosh, there's this fiery, zesty, try me kind of energy. I feel like the world is trying to, it feels like, I feel like you feel like the world is trying to shut you up with this noose around your neck, and you're like, like, try me. I get this image of like this female outlaw, like getting ready to be hung, and she's like, yeah, right. This noose around, you can't keep this noose around my neck. That's the image and the energy that I'm getting for you. So that feels really good. Open up a little bit more if you would. Sorry, this is a little hard to connect for you. But we are. Okay, I feel energy in the root, and I feel closing of energy, moving, closing into the root and the sacral. I feel like a closing up of energy. Huh. Okay. Let me try one more time. Muriel. I mean, that's all I'm getting for you, darling. Wish I was getting more, but it's just a little hard for me to tune into the energy today. So I hope that is helpful for you and you get what you need out of that. Okay, Angelina. Ooh, heavy question. Yes, please. Why am I having such trouble finding a partner in alignment with me? Anger. I feel it strongly in the power center. Anger. You have anger, and it is not this. It is not that you're just angry so nobody likes you. It's not that. It's not that, because your question was specifically partner in alignment with me. It's not that you have a trouble finding potential partners, it's the alignment. You have anger that you really need to let yourself have and feel and process and work through before you open up space for the partner in alignment with you to show up. The partner's there. You have no trouble in that arena, in that area, is what spirit is saying to me. No trouble. But the alignment piece, it's like it keeps being like near misses or total misses, right? And what I felt it in the power center. I felt the anger. I feel like you have been hurt. You have been abused. You have been abused is maybe a strong word, but it's like along those lines anyway. You have been taken advantage of, taken for granted. Oh, That's the hit I just got. You've been taken for granted and you are pissed. And you're allowed to be pissed. And you let yourself be pissed and feel that anger and really do some work and some processing about that. Processing, I hate that word. Let's try this again. Really letting yourself feel it, going into your body, into your stomach, and just letting yourself feel the rage that's hanging out in there. Because that rage is acting like a reverse magnet. You know what I mean by that? It's pushing the right people away. But it's only because you need the space to really feel that, to really let yourself have that, because that's going to do so much more for you than just bring in the partner. The partner is just one glorious consequence for doing your healing work. There's going to be much, much, much more. And Spirit is gifting you with space until you let yourself have that and really let yourself feel that. Okay, beautiful. Let's see now. Okay, Michelle, last reading. General message for Michelle. What have we got for you, sweetheart? I got throat. Lots of throat stuff recently, man. I think that was my last broadcast on our collective throat chakra block. Let's see, throat. I got a lot of energy in the head. Okay, my sweet. You're in your head a lot. You have a lot of fear running. You're pissed. You need to bring that energy down into your body and to get out of your head, get out of your head, get out of your head. You got to get out of your head and into your body. I feel like working out, exercising. I just saw you running on a treadmill or maybe on like a bike or elliptical or something. I saw you on something like getting cardio, getting worked up, working your muscles, like moving your body, getting back into your body, getting out some aggression. You really need to get out some aggression as well. It's going to be really, really helpful for you. So get to the gym is what I'm getting. And just, I saw you particularly, it's an elliptical. It's like strength and cardio is going to be really helpful for you. But you've got to get out of your head because a change is coming for you. You got a life change ahead of you. It's not bad, but you're not going to see it coming. It's going to be a total surprise. And you're going to need to be grounded in your body and relaxed in order to go through this change without a whole lot of chaos hitting you. Okay? Just get out of your head and get into your body, working out. All right, gorgeous. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for joining today, for hearing the message, for doing these prayer healings and getting the readings. If you have enjoyed this broadcast and you know people who would benefit from this message and from these readings, please share this out. Share it with your friends, your family, anybody who you think would benefit. And if you're showing up and you're getting a lot of value from the Bhava Spiritual Mission and from me showing up every week, please consider leaving a donation to the mission. The link is in the description of the video. You can do a one-time donation or a monthly donation. Tax deductible. We are a church, and I thank you so much for your contribution. And I thank you so much for you and coming together and doing this incredible thing that we do every week. So thank you so much. And I love you like crazy. And I will see you next week. All right. I got the time zone thing down, I think now. Bye, beauties.